Hey guys, welcome to 2024. My name is Lubuto. Welcome to my channel. 2024. Before we jump into today's main topic, I would just like to talk about the things that I learned in 2023, the financial lessons. I can sum them up in 3 points. Basically, number one for me was just because you have the money doesn't necessarily mean you can afford something. Sometimes I would have money and end up squandering the money on things that I thought I could afford, but it just meant that I was delaying my own financial freedom because I'm looking up this huge chunk of money in something that I don't necessarily need, but something that I just want. And after a few days, I'll be tired of that thing and I want to move on to something better. Number two is overanalyzing, trying to wait for things to align before I can invest, like waiting for things to be perfect, the dollar and the kwacha to be 1-to-1 and things like that. But no, it doesn't work that way. Some lessons can only be learned once you join the journey or get into the journey. So overanalyzing is not good for you. Once you have an idea, you've done your research, you've asked the experts, you don't even have to tell your friend. Sometimes the mistake we make is you start asking your girlfriend, should I invest in this? What does your girlfriend know about that? Ask people who are experts in that field and you never go wrong. So sometimes it's actually important for us, which this is point number 3 now, to move in silence, even in your own financial decisions, because asking the wrong people will just get you discouraged. With that, we can jump into today. So the easiest thing you can invest in are shares. Shares are legal and they're very easy to go about, regardless of the country that you live in. So how do you go about shares? For example, here in Zambia, all you need is a proof of identity. You need to have maybe even a bank account, or you can use mobile money alternatively for your transactions. And you also need to open what we call a brokerage account, which can easily be done. And you need a minimum amount of 500 kwacha, which is in today's terms about $20. Yeah. So with that, you can get started with shares. So how does the stock market work? It's basically like any other market. You go in, you trade your money for a good that you want. So in this case, you trade your cash for ownership in a company. And then when that company makes money or sits together, they divide the profits, and that's how you get your money. So those profits are what we now call dividends. So basically 2 ways. Sometimes the share price might be bought at a lower value, and in a long term, that price increases and you can make money once you sell those shares for a higher value. Secondly, you can earn money through dividends, the profits that we talked about. Okay, number 2, which is also legal, bonds and treasury bills. So for bonds and treasury bills, this is basically you loaning money to the government, and in the long term, the government will pay you back your money plus an interest. So for bonds, we're talking about something that's a bit long term, from 2 years up to 15 years. For treasury bills, we're saying anything less than 2 years. Can be 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, but basically less than 2 years. So with that, you probably get the idea that for a treasury bill, the return will be much less compared to bonds, because bonds are more long term, and the longer you lock in your money, the more rewards you get. So I'll stick more to the bonds and not the treasury bills. So for the bonds, the way you basically make your money is in 2 ways. Through the what we call coupons. So coupons are paid out every 6 months at a certain percentage. The longer the period, for example, if it's 15 years, you can get something like 14%. So if you lock in your money for 15 years, every 6 months you'll be given about 14% or maybe 10% of that money every 6 months, and until the bond matures. So if it's a bond that's going for 5 years, 10 years, you'll be getting 10% or 6% or 8%, every 6 months until the maturity date. Then at the end of that maturity date, when you finally reach the end, they now give you back the principal amount that you had invested. So you've basically made money off the money that you had lent to the government, and you've made a profit through those coupons that were being sent out every 6 months. So bonds are also very easy. They're the second easiest, and they're very secure. That's why we call them government securities. So for bonds, all you need is a CSD account. You can use the investor portal here in Zambia. Then secondly, what you need is a bank account. You need a tip-in certificate. That all you need is a 1,000 kwacha to start your investment. So bonds are also pretty easy. It's something that you should be thinking or considering investing in this year. The third thing you can invest in 2024 is starting your own business. I'm sure we all have ideas, and sometimes business is all about finding a problem and thinking of an a marketable solution or an innovative solution. So guys, be innovative. What are some of the problems that you've discovered in your area, or things that frustrate you but you feel you have a solution to them? Are those solutions marketable? If they are, start that business and you never go wrong. Okay, number 4 for me is agriculture, because you know people always need to eat, and I feel like I discovered this lesson when COVID happened. Everything was on lockdown. No construction was happening. Hotels were closed. Most of the things were closed. Traveling wasn't really a thing, but people still needed to eat. That's why business such as an agricultural business, as long as you've done your work, you've done your research, you get the experts who know exactly what they're doing. Farming is one of those things that you can invest in this coming year. So whether it's maize production, or you're thinking of keeping animals, keeping maybe goats, sheep, cows, I don't know what it is that you want, but do your research. Whether it's fish farming, find an area. If you don't have land, there are people who hire out farms. Try to talk to someone who has a farm, talk to someone who eventually knows someone, and eventually you'll find what you're looking for. As long as you keep searching and you don't give up, you will find what you're looking for. So farming is one of those things that you can invest in. Number 5, I'm sure we all want to be the guy or the girl with the keys, landlord, get that money, get your rental money and all that, be the landlord that when it's 30, people start dancing and they're scared. And yeah, if another thing that you can invest in this coming year is real estate. So it's either you owning property that's for commercial purposes like office space, it can be residential, it can even be an Airbnb, for example, if you're trying to be that innovative. But yeah, basically you investing in rental property or investing in real estate. So this one's a bit hard because basically you need land, you need property, you need material for the whatever property, you need plans to be authorized and approved by the council, you need architects and engineers. So this one's a bit long term, but it's something that you can always look at as well because it's a good alternative. And that's why some of the rich people keep their money. They make their money and invest in real estate, they invest in accommodation because they know on a monthly basis you'll be getting back your money. And lastly, I can also advocate or advise people to consider joining or doing a taxi haulage service. This can be through services like Yango here in Zambia, or getting your own bikes, because I've noticed like even just in Lusaka, the bike business is booming. You can consider joining a taxi haulage business or bikes, or if you have your own car that's dormant and it's not being used, you yourself can be that Yango driver. Yeah, I've done it before. Be innovative, think of solutions. Get that Yango and start driving, drop people from point A to point B. Through that, you might meet connections, you might meet your very next connection, or destiny help or destiny changer might be your passenger. So consider doing it as business. Number 6. So if you watched till the end but you felt like this was a complete waste of your time, complete waste of your bundles, I'm not going to give you back your bundles, but I'll advise you to not share this video, don't drop any comment, don't like the video, and never return to the channel, because here you're going to be forced to start thinking financially and start thinking like an adult. So yeah, and if for someone who watched this video till the end, I'm just going to request you to do one thing for me. Just type "I was bored." That's going to be proof that you watched till the very end. And before I close and sign off, I just want to talk about one thing that I'll be doing this year. So most people have been asking me about how they need help starting up with investing in shares, investing in bonds, how to go about it. So I don't really have the luxury of time to go step by step with each and every person. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to I can form a group on WhatsApp, depending on the feedback that I get from people. Form a group on WhatsApp, but you'll be required to pay a little something because there's no free lunch in Africa and I'm a very busy person. So yeah, I'll find time, I'll make time for people, but we can pay 100 kwacha, form that group, and then get started. So in that video, or rather in that group, you're going to learn how to invest in shares, how to invest in bonds. So if you're interested, I'm going to drop a number at the bottom that you can send the proof of payment to, and we can get started. So basically, or hopefully the lessons start by 8th January. So I'm going to communicate, but it depends on the feedback. So if people are interested, we can start. If I only have one person, I'm still going to start, because better we have one investor who's going to become a millionaire in the near future, and like we all just become squanderers, and in the long term we have nothing to show for our money. So with that, I sign off, and thanks for watching.